Hello everybody, might be a bit of trivia here, but I just, you know when they do maps and they show us, they always show us as so small. I know that we're sort of slightly out from the rest of Europe and there's quite a few countries that make Europe, but what I did was I decided to just go and look the miles from, say, Durness. It's kind of right at the top. It says 12 hours and it's 680 odd miles, but I looked up the length of France and that's less than we are. We are longer with Scotland. Yeah, and also longer than Spain. Not as wide as Spain, but longer. Quite shocked, really. Yeah, obviously America is that big, but 2,800 wide and 1,000 whatever, 500 and something up. Obviously not including Alaska in that bit. Then I just picked the map of America. Oh, I was looking, there was a Washington up there. I thought it was strange to have Washington up there. If you see how big we are, the flashy green line is roughly how big we would be in it. We wouldn't be as wide as it, but it's still a section of America, so maybe we're not quite as small as we're made out to be. I don't know. You look at it like that, because it's 2,000 miles across, which is where the middle, yeah, so there we are. Yeah, I don't know. Do we look a bit bigger once you stick us in? I don't know, but I was a bit shocked that we were longer than a lot of countries, but it's not sort of depicted like that. I just think we're a bit bigger than they say we are. Anyway, this is a world map. We're not as long as Italy. Takes just the same amount of time. Maybe they have better roads, but then you have to pay to go on their roads, I think. So maybe there's not so many people on them, not so many accidents, not so many problems. And the roads in Scotland are very probably, more isolated roads. Anyway, just wanted to take into account that that's how big Turkey is. 1,000 miles long, 500 miles up. So it's quite a big place, but doesn't really fare into comparison when you look at the United States, does it? Look, we've done that one. That's how big that is. But Turkey's still at least a quarter of the size of America, but it doesn't look like it in that map. Just things I've noticed. Does Turkey look the quarter of the size of America? No. And the size of China, it used to be so much smaller, and now look at the size of China. Did give back its countries, then did it? Russia's given back its. We've sort of given back ours, but not really. And yeah, how did America get Alaska? Yeah. It's hard to work any of it out. I already told you what I think Greenland is. If you look at the maps, you put the 4 rivers together and Greenland, because it's much smaller, it's a bit bigger than England, that becomes that bit there. But I was trying to get England and I still couldn't do it. I was trying to lay England, but it's not lying across. It's not lying that way. It's lying across. I still couldn't do it, but it pushes all of Africa and everywhere else round. If they're lying about us, then they're lying about the other bits. But I just couldn't get it to go how I wanted it to, because it's not still coming across, because I can't, because the whole map's moving. I just wish I could move England across. Yeah, I had a go, but I couldn't do it. But, you know, when you do turn it round, right, we're going to go back. When you turn it round like this, you know, are you sure? Although I've said where I think the Four Rivers is, I also wondered if, you know, hopefully we're going to see it in a minute, yeah, it's just lying across. I just can't get the thing to do what I want it to do, even though I can manoeuvre it. Typical, isn't it? Still not lying the right way. It's lying across. It's lying across. When you, I don't know, when you look at this, I wish I could make England lie on its side. So you would then see that everything else on the other side, Russia, that would go right the way round. And cause I was always a bit like, how does Jin get to California in the same time as I would when he's in Japan and he's sort of well over there? But if everything is twisted round, you know, if you look at it, he's kind of like level with me, but across. So once you twist it round, then maybe he becomes level with me, but then he can get the same distance to California. But I just like, yeah. Crazy. But you know, in a way, even though I've said what I've said about the Four Rivers being Greenland, Greenland's a bit bigger than the UK, and then comes the Four Rivers on top, and now it's all called Greenland. Because they've got it the same size as Africa, and it probably isn't quite that big. But China's much bigger than it used to be, which is crazy. It used to be, you know, there's Harbin, that's it, Harbin town. Used to be about where my cursor is, and that used to be Russia, and now it's China. And China's actually quite a big country now, isn't it? I don't know, look at those countries, you know. Is that actually where I've said the Four Rivers? It isn't, and Canada, Brazil, Africa, and Greenland are all to do with these Four Rivers. And it's in the Atlantic Ocean. Really crazy how that's got that name, isn't it? Atlantis. Oh, Atlantic Ocean. Don't know, do you see what I mean? It could be, it's just a thought I had. You know, that puts Greenland, Iceland, Norway and England sort of quite in control of things then, doesn't it really? Because obviously something happens through that opening. Maybe that's why. I don't know. England's just this big part of it, and I don't quite understand. Because, you know, we've looked at Tartaria, and it kind of is the Queen with the Commonwealth and all the other countries she has, and Antarctica. But actually, Germany's not in it, Russia's not in it, and China's not in it. But then we learned that the Germans was the Holy Roman Empire. So it's all just a bit like crazy, you know, but I think England has the same time zone as Portugal. So you can see how twisted round everything must be if we're on the same time zone as Portugal. Not Spain, Portugal. Ooh, someone's got some nice music going on out there. Yeah. So I can't quite work it out because I haven't got a program where I can sort of make my own map. Yeah. There is ways in. Originally I thought that's maybe where the Four Rivers was, but then when I saw the Four Rivers and Greenland and where they put the Four Rivers, then I thought, oh, it's Greenland, but you never know. Iceland, England, Norway, Greenland, quite in control of whatever's coming from the Arctic. Obviously it's something, because England seems to be right in the middle of it. On all of it. On the time, on the money thing, on this power thing, on the Tartaria thing, or whatever it is. Obviously I noticed that the Holy Roman Empire had most of Europe, but the English one had, you know, India, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. It had other parts. It had quite a lot of other parts, but not Europe, except Gibraltar. But anyway, like I said, on the plane flight, flying from Denmark, it was south. I mean, that is northeast. I flew south. And we hit England, I could see it was lying on its side. Anyway, thanks for watching. What do you think?